The town of Gamboru, Ngala sat on the edge of Nigeria like a frayed thread on a torn cloth. Days were loud, markets were crowded, and the sound of motorbikes blended with the chatter of traders crossing over from Cameroon. Nights were quieter, too quiet for a place that straddled danger and survival. Aisha Musa walked home from the evening market, clutching her younger brother Ibrahim's hand. She felt that strange heaviness in the air again, the one that made the goats restless and the dogs bark at shadows. Soldiers at the checkpoint looked unusually tense, whispering into radios, eyes fixed on the dark horizon. Aisha told herself it was nothing. In Gamboru, Ngala, you lied to yourself to fall asleep. Earlier that week, strange footprints had been found near the river crossing. Too many for hunters, too deliberative for nomads. A patrol had gone out and never returned. The villagers whispered, but no one wanted to say the name aloud. Boko Haram. Aisha overheard her mother praying louder than usual that night. At the military outpost, Lieutenant Denladi checked the perimeter for the third time. He didn't like the silence creeping in from the east. His instincts screamed that something was approaching, something coordinated. He radioed command again, still no response. The attack came at 2:13 a.m. First came the low rumble, motorcycles, dozens of them, sweeping in like a swarm. Then gunfire ripped the silence to pieces. Houses burst into flames. Screams drowned the night. Aisha awoke choking on smoke. Her mother shoved Ibrahim into her arms. "Run! Don't stop!" The walls shook as explosions tore through the neighborhood. The attackers moved with brutal precision, torching everything in their path. Lieutenant Danladi and his men tried to hold the line, but they were outnumbered 10-1. The lieutenant yelled for reinforcements that would never come. By dawn, Gamboru Ngala was a skeleton of ashes and broken bodies. Aisha and Ibrahim hid beneath a collapsed stall near the old bus park. She kept her hand over his mouth to stop him from whimpering at the sight of bodies lying in the open. When the militants retreated, they left behind devastation that felt deliberate, a message carved in fire. The surviving soldiers began pulling people from rubble. Lieutenant Danladi limped through the ruins, blood on his uniform but determination still burning in his eyes. He found Aisha and Ibrahim huddled together shaking. "You're safe now," he whispered, though he knew it wasn't entirely true. As authorities and aid workers arrived hours later, news spread that the attack had been planned using inside knowledge. Someone had leaked patrol routes, shift changes, and evacuation procedures. Someone local. Rumors spiraled until they settled on one name: Malam Idris, a respected trader who ran the biggest shop in town. He had vanished just hours before the attack. Aisha stiffened when she heard it. Malam Idris had been the one who insisted families stay near the market that night because soldiers would be doing routine checks. He had urged her mother to keep the children close. It hadn't been kindness, it was a strategy. The lieutenant clenched his jaw. He placed all of you where you'd be most vulnerable. The betrayal cut deeper than any bullet. Days later, mass graves were dug. Survivors gathered to mourn, but closure felt like a luxury they weren't allowed to have. Aisha and Ibrahim were among the many who had no home left to return to. Aid trucks came and went, but grief stayed behind, lingering like smoke in their lungs. Lieutenant Danladi was reassigned, but he visited the camp one last time before leaving. "You survived something meant to wipe you out," he told Aisha. "Don't let fear finish the job." Aisha nodded, not because she believed him, but because it was the first thing anyone had said that didn't feel like an empty comfort. She would remember the flames, she would remember the screams, but she would also remember standing up again. Gamboru Ngala had been broken, but the people still breathed. In northern Nigeria, survival was its own kind of rebellion. Like and subscribe for more.